and so we are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. But fear not, for through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins. We are not perfect, nor can we be. We hear the words of Christ and we believe. That is our obedience.
You speak of hearing. But my teacher, a man from Cush named Emmy, asked a question that must be answered. What is the chasm between hearing an instruction and obeying it? Emmy taught us from the law. Behold, I send an angel before thee. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. We were commanded to be the angel's voice. He did not forgive. His authority was absolute. Now we are told only to hear the prophet. But if we obey his new doctrine of forgiveness, we transgress the first command. We become little gods, presuming a pardon that was never the angel's nor ours to give. Emmy would say, you feel the judgment of your own sin in your conscience, yet you claim it is forgiven. Are you not a fake God to assume in your mind what only the Lord can grant?
This Cushite's teaching is a millstone, Malachi. It sinks the ship of grace. He nullifies the cross.
He exalted the law. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. This was the drumbeat of his teaching, not thou shalt try, not thou shalt be forgiven for thy imperfection. Perfection. Noah was perfect in his generations, and he was saved alive, a living soul. There is no perfection in the land of the dead. This is the teaching of Emmy the Cushite.
They are disorderly, Malachi, like lambs without a true shepherd. They confuse sentiment for sanctity. To be intelligent in the law is to be orderly in obedience. It is not about feeling godly. It is about being obedient, and perfect obedience is perfection.
But teacher, the scripture says God will raise up a prophet, and that we must hearken to him.
Hearken, to listen attentively, to give ear. It does not say, obey his new law. It says, hear the words God puts in his mouth. And what is the first and greatest commandment God ever put in a prophet's mouth? Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. Any word that comes after must be measured against that plumb line, or it is chaff. The Spirit strove with man before the flood, and the world was drowned. The lesson is told twice. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. There is nothing new under this sun. And this new Spirit they worship today, that preaches forgiveness above perfection. This Spirit is an enemy to my soul.
I've heard stories of him, the African. They say he sees patterns in the scripture that break the minds of other teachers.
He sees the truth. He saw that both Paul and Christ himself admitted they had not attained perfection in their earthly lives. So he asked the devastating question, how can an unperfected teacher establish a perfect way? He taught from Hebrews, therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Christ, let us go on unto perfection. He said the lambs are stuck at the infant stage, offering gifts of faith and feeling, a service that can never make the worshiper perfect in their conscience. They are blind to their own derailment from the perfect way of obedience that was set from the beginning.
And what became of him?
He was perfect in his teaching of the law, and truth such as his cannot be tolerated by a world built on compromise. They said a Cushite had no right to correct the children of Abraham, that his clarity was a threat. They did not lay a hand on him, but they closed their hearts and their doors. He was cast out, rejected. Now he waits in the desert, a living soul like Noah, speaking while the ark is yet being prepared.
Malachi, you have been bearing my yoke in the city.
The words fall like rain on stone, teacher. They cannot penetrate.
The word of the Lord is like the dew. It falls without ceasing. It will find the tender herb that will receive it and bear roots. The rest are but branches attached to a weakened vine. They will wither. Wait on the Lord and keep his way. That is your charge now. Wait, perfect your heart towards his law, for the souls that do shall be saved. But know this, to hold fast to the perfect law is to invite the world's rejection. It is the price of fidelity. My path has been one of isolation, and so shall yours be. You are no longer one of the lambs. You are a son of Israel, called to the perfect law.
Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.